Hey folks, Merry Christmas, and if you don't celebrate Christmas, good day or good evening to you. Whatever you may celebrate or not celebrate, I hope you're doing well. I myself do celebrate Christmas, and want to share some joy with all of you on this day. As a sort of Christmas gift from me to you, I am going to go over 50 of your own Zelda Christmas time stories that you sent in, and read them all out in a sort of sitting around the fireplace telling stories style video. I love getting you lovely folks involved in my videos, and this seemed like a fantastic way to do so for the holidays. So get warm, get comfy, and as always, be sure to go and grab yourself a festive snack or drink and send them in to get featured right here. And also be sure to drop a like and subscribe if you haven't already. It really helps the channel out. And let's get into this one. From Daisy. I remember during December 2020, life was pretty rough for a bunch of friends and I, so we set up a Secret Santa and all got each other Zelda gifts. We spent the entire day on the 26th playing Breath of the Wild together and just having a good time. This sounds amazing, and I'm very happy that you all got to have that wonderful experience. Playing your favourite video games with friends is very special. From The New Hero of Time, getting the Zelda Game & Watch last year at Christmas, and just playing some of those classics for the first time right near my Christmas tree, while watching Christmas videos. It was great. Oh man, that sounds awesome. My partner and I got one of those too, and it's such a neat little device. From Gabrielle, in my family, video games were not present until late. We did eventually get a second-hand Wii, and wanted to find a 3D adventure game with fantasy and good puzzles to solve. I was given Skyward Sword at Christmas, my first ever Zelda game. It corresponded exactly to what I was looking for, opening the door to the whole Zelda universe, and making me a huge fan. That sounds like a really awesome Zelda fan awakening. I can just imagine how amazing that time was when you were first playing it. From Billy Bob, it was Christmas 2017 and we had Breath of the Wild, but our disc, Wii U, kinda broke. Not that it had cracked or anything, but it just wasn't working. So I was pretty sad the whole month of December and asked for a new Breath of the Wild disc. After opening most of my presents, I was a bit disappointed that Santa hadn't brought me what I wanted. My parents later said to check downstairs in our basement. They had bought a whole new TV, a Wii U, and a new disc of Breath of the Wild. One of my favourite Christmas moments. Yo, that's a really awesome surprise and idea from your parents. I'm very happy to hear it all turned out well. From Sledgen, my favourite memory is when I received Breath of the Wild in a Switch on Christmas 2019. It was an awesome Christmas with family, and I spent most of my day playing that game. From then on, I played Breath of the Wild, and left it. But 1 year ago, I came back to it. I played more Zelda, got more games, and watched people like you, and here I am now. Merry Christmas. Sounds like a lot of fun, especially when your family got involved. That's really nice to hear, and thanks for watching the channel. From The Geek Apprentice. While my family has several fond memories of the beloved Zelda series, I have just one that happened during Christmas. In 2017, I was in my senior year of college. I knew about Breath of the Wild, but the last time my family bought a gaming system was the Wii as a birthday gift to me for my 11th birthday in 2006. As the youngest, my older brothers had grown out of Nintendo, mostly. My mum and I were the only ones who still played consistently. Yet, not new games, just the only ones we knew. So the idea of being able to play the newest Zelda was out of the question. However, I came home from college that Christmas to find my mum had purchased a Wii U. She didn't know about the Switch, but even so, we were tight for money. And Breath of the Wild. We were both so excited. Even one of my older brothers was interested. I was the first one to play, and we spent hours watching / playing. That game got all of us back into following the latest releases of Nintendo, and was a phenomenal time. Where do I start? That's a really wholesome and lovely story to hear, especially that one of your older brothers was interested too. You all getting back into Nintendo sounds very nice. From Super Zelda Girl, favourite would have to be getting Phantom Hourglass for Christmas, my first Zelda game. Never heard of the series before then, and didn't even know it was a big series till a couple years later when I saw an advert for Spirit Tracks. I remember playing Phantom Hourglass all Christmas Day while sat on the sofa. It's a nice memory, and well, it's pretty much what made me who I am now. Lol. Hey, a Phantom Hourglass story. What an amazing first game to play. Just chilling and playing that on Christmas sounds like an amazing day. Love to hear it. From Triforce Trends, my favourite memory is ongoing. It's been part of the community. Honestly, this is what it's about, man. A gift that keeps on giving. I fully agree here. That is one of the best memories and gifts I could have ever been given. A place in this wonderful community. From Nehru, my favourite memory is when Twilight Princess released. My family was extremely poor at the time, and my parents couldn't afford to get us much for Christmas. All I wanted was the new Zelda game. And somehow, my parents made it happen. I remember my mum crying, because she felt so bad I only had one present under the tree. But I was just so happy that she got me Zelda, that it still means the world to me, regardless. It was still one of my favourite Christmases of all time. Oh man, that's really lovely to hear, and I definitely get it. I'm really glad you could all experience that happy moment together, and have the memory of it being one of your favourite Christmases. From Lucas, when I was 10, I was ecstatic when I got Spirit Tracks for Christmas. I was promised I'd get it, but it wasn't under the tree. It was hidden away as my last gift to open. I spent the entire rest of the day playing. I don't think I've ever been as hyped for a Zelda game. Nice one. I love a little hidden gift left to last. That's awesome to hear, and I'm glad you had a good time. From Lo-Fi Lord, I have a great one about my aunt if that's okay. It's just sad she died years ago, but she actually showed me Legend of Zelda games as a child. Really sorry to hear that, but also happy that she brought Zelda into your life. That's really nice. From Christian, last year I went to Germany for 2 weeks to visit family. When I got back, my dad surprised me with a Shrine of Zelda. He knows how much I love the series, so he reorganised my collection. At the time was mostly on one shelf. It might not sound a lot, but with him buying tickets, he was low on cash, so for him to still do something was awesome. And yes, I will put a picture up so you can see what it looks like. And I tried to shorten the story as much as I can. Sorry if it does not make sense. That's really cool, and no worries. A Zelda shrine just for you? Amazing. I'll put the picture you sent in on screen now as well. From Zelda Fan, for me, it is Christmas 1998, when I got The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time, the gold cartridge. I remember like it was yesterday. I immediately started playing it. I played it for hours and had so much fun. An oldie, but goldie. The thing I'd do to find one of those gold cartridges today. That's really awesome that you got one of them for Christmas back in the day, and played it for hours on end. That's what Christmas is about for me as a video game fan. From Lex, I think mine is when I was 8. I woke up on Christmas morning to all Zelda themed gifts from my parents, and I started crying because I was so happy. It was the only thing I talked about when I was younger, since it was, and still is, one of my special interests. Lovely. Just lovely. From Sawyer, my parents could never afford fun things for us as kids, but one Christmas we got a Wii, and a couple of games. This exciting looking game called Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess Caught Our Eye. My sister and I set it up and played it the minute we were allowed. We spent hours on it. This one hits home a little as I also received a family Wii and a few games one year for Christmas, one of which was also Twilight Princess. I also spent many hours playing. I bet you had an amazing time. From Nella Rev 3, it was Christmas season in 2007, and as a Wind Waker fan, I really wanted the new Legend of Zelda Phantom Hourglass that recently released. My mum had hinted that she got me a game, and I was dying to find out what it was. About a week before Christmas itself, I decided, like a true pirate on Tetra's crew, to sneak into the big box of wrapped Christmas presents and carefully unwrap the DS game case shaped box I found. Cue the Zelda chess music. It was Phantom Hourglass. I happily rewrapped it and enjoyed it for many hours after Christmas Day. Best Christmas ever. Sneaky, but I'll allow it. Jokes aside, that's a funny, wholesome story. From Richard, Christmas morning 1986. Opening my original NES along with Super Mario Bros, Slash Duck Hunt, Hogan's Alley, and the original Legend of Zelda, and playing with my father, taking turns. An oldie but goldie. That sounds like an amazing core memory to have. From Chubbs MF Perkins, The day after Christmas, the year Majora's Mask came out, we went to our friend Zach's house who got it for Christmas, and I remember being terrified, but in awe of the game when I first seen it. His mum babysat me and my brother for years, so all three of us would sit with her and play it. She would try her best to help us out. A couple of years later, she was diagnosed with lung cancer, and sadly lost the battle shortly after. I still remember the way their house smelt, the way the carpet felt, and the mismatched couch cushions on our child-sized sofa. Always cherish the small moments and try to relive those feelings of living as a child with those who you love, because you only get those feelings once. Those memories are close as you'll ever get to it again. Very sorry to hear that. I'm glad you have some great memories of that though. It sounds really nice. From Isla. Not super special I guess, but last year when my family was staying with my grandparents halfway across the country, I was pretty overwhelmed due to my younger cousins running around being loud, my mum arguing with her dad, and just general chaos, so I found a place to hide out and played some Breath of the Wild to calm down a little. It was nice. This is something I can relate to, being overwhelmed and just hiding away to play some relaxing video games. Love to hear it. From Bridget. My husband and I have been married 6 years, together 8. I've been a huge Zelda fan since I was 9. I'm about to turn 30. He had never played one. I tried for so long to get him to play. I've tried getting friends to play too, and they won't. So when we finally got a Switch for ourselves 2 years ago on Christmas, I was playing Breath of the Wild. He started by just watching, then asking questions. He normally likes new games, and I'm more retro. I keep up on Zelda though. I told him, just try it. If you're going to get into Zelda, maybe try the newest one. So he did. Now he's played Breath of the Wild, Ocarina of Time, Majora's Mask, my all-time fave game, the first Legend of Zelda, A Link to the Past, and Skyward Sword. His next tattoo, he says, will be Zelda themed. I did it. I finally did it. It was a long, hard road, but man, was it worth it. Lol. Now we both geek out over Zelda, and it's awesome. Ocarina of Time was my entrance into video games, so getting a Switch and also getting him into my favourite franchise, yeah, best Christmas ever. Love your channel, this is a great video idea. That's an amazing story. I love that you managed to get him into not just Breath of the Wild, but the series essentially. Certainly sounds like a great Christmas. And thanks by the way. From Hyrule Bell. A couple years ago, I got a Switch for Christmas, and then I played Breath of the Wild on it for the rest of the break. I'd played other Zelda games, but playing Breath of the Wild was just such a feeling. I can't even describe how amazing it was and how a new game style it was for me. I get sad because I don't think I'll ever have that extreme feeling ever again because I'm so used to the game now and it's nothing new. Oh yeah, nothing beats that first playthrough of Breath of the Wild. It's impossible to recapture that first raw experience, but man, it is incredible when playing it for the first time, and having that experience at Christmas must have been really cool. From Amelia. I've been a Zelda fan quite a while now. I would watch my dad play the 1991 version, Link to the Past, before bed almost every night, which started my Zelda playing years. I remember one Christmas we would sit on the couch and play the game. It was one of my favourite memories regarding Zelda on Christmas. Nice. I also used to watch my dad play Zelda games often, and they really are some of the best memories. From Raidan. Christmas 1998. Me and my brother received Ocarina of Time as a gift. Word on the street was that it is an excellent game. Previous to this, the only Zelda we had played was Wand of Gamelon and Faces of Evil. No joke. So expectations were not sky high. However, the opening was utterly enchanting and I fell in love with the game. Kokiri Forest fills me with Christmassy cheer. Ocarina of Time truly inspired my imagination. Wand of Gamelon and Faces of Evil is certainly a jumping point to go into Ocarina of Time. I'm glad to hear you enjoyed Ocarina of Time as a Christmas gift though, that's awesome. From Hunter. I'll never forget the day my uncle gave me Breath of the Wild for Christmas. I'd been into The Legend of Zelda before and loved every minute of it. I really enjoyed the Oracle games. After Skyward Sword, I never played a Zelda game again, but Breath of the Wild rekindled my interest, and I cannot wait for Tears of the Kingdom. Lovely story. Good to hear, and honestly me neither. That sequel cannot come soon enough. We're all very excited for it. From Dingo Hunter. I remember this amazing time. I think it was Christmas last year. My dad and I were replaying Breath of the Wild for the third time. We would just spend 3 to 5 hours just playing this game together. After that, I really started getting into Zelda lore, and man, I'm so happy. Also, Twilight Princess and Skyward Sword, best games. Your third time playing Breath of the Wild. That's really cool. And also really cool that you then started getting more into the lore. Love to hear that. And yes, I agree on Twilight Princess being a best game. From Hey Hey It's Waylon, it's a Christmas tradition that my dad and I replay all of Zelda 1 in A Link to the Past. We've done it ever since I could remember. Ever since the NES and SNES minis, it's got even easier for us to do so. I think about these games every December. That sounds like a really fun Christmas tradition. So wholesome and so awesome. From Angelos_Triforce, it was 2017, and I was around 8 at the time. I woke up Christmas morning and came down. That Christmas got me into Zelda. My dad purchased me Ocarina of Time on the Wii U Virtual Console. He did this because he played as a kid on the N64. We sat down, and from the moment the title music kicked in, I was enthralled. As a little kid, I was very hard to entertain, but I would get incredibly excited when playing Ocarina. My dad played through the entire thing with me, and I have amazing memories of going through the temples, my shock when Link turned into an adult, and my butt getting thrashed by Bongo Bongo. I'm so nostalgic for Ocarina of Time now. My sister saw how much fun we were having, and then got a 3DS and played Ocarina of Time on there with my dad. She was about 7, and she loved it as much as I did. Even my mum joined in, and we are a Zelda family now. We sit down and watch Zelda theories together. Yes, yours. And me and my sister have played the entire series with our dad. We are avidly waiting Tears of the Kingdom. I'm so excited. Also, I love the vids, dude. Hope you have a great Christmas. Again, thanks for the love, guys. That is enough to bring tears to a Zelda fan's eyes. I love this one, and I'm very happy for you that you got to experience such a wholesome memory like that. From Sarah, I got Twilight Princess on the Wii, along with the official manual book for Christmas one year. I don't think I was more excited for this than any other gift I've ever received. I remember playing for hours after we were finished opening the rest of the presents. Love it. Anything Twilight Princess for Christmas is an instant win. From Elliot, it was last year. I wanted a Master Sword, Goron bracelet and Kokiri shield, and my family got me it. It was very heartwarming for me. Oh nice, that's really cool. Zelda merch or anything non-actual video game is always really cool and makes me happy. From Isabel, last year I got Age of Calamity as a gift for my birthday. My birthday is 3 days before Christmas, and in those 3 days I'd finished the story. When it was Christmas, I found out there was a DLC, so that was a last minute Christmas gift for myself. I was so happy. Oh, our first Age of Calamity memory of the video. That's really awesome. From the Bard of Shale, mine was the thrill of driving the spirit train throughout Hyrule for the first time. The music, the aesthetics of the landscape, and that sweet sound of chuffing and whistle. Spirit Tracks may not be everybody's choice for top game of the series, but it's certainly my favourite. That sounds amazing. Definitely not everybody's favourite, but certainly some. From Michaela, after my sister and I opened Breath of the Wild on Christmas, we played it for hours. Short and sweet, but sounds wonderful. From Henry, I got Link's Awakening for Christmas. I have so many memories with this game, and the build up to it was amazing. At first look in the ads, I didn't want it, but then when it came to getting it on Christmas, I fell in love with it. It's my second favourite Zelda game. A truly amazing memory. I'm glad it turned out well, and it's now one of your favourites. From Lucy, my absolute favourite Zelda game is definitely Twilight Princess. I would always go over to my nan's house when I was little, and she would always be playing that game on her GameCube, and I would always sit and watch. Unfortunately, she passed away, and I received that game and her GameCube from her, and I would always play it every Christmas. With the Christmas lights on and the Christmas tree in the background, always getting stuck at one part where you had to melt the ice for the Zora Palace. I still play it today every Christmas to feel that nostalgia. Absolutely amazing. Hey, a fellow Twilight Princess fan. That's a very lovely story / memory to have. I'm glad that she could give that to you. From Toshi, I think the first time I ever defeated the boss of Lord Jabu Jabu's Inside in Ocarina of Time was around Christmas, almost 11 years ago if I remember correctly, so I would have been 11 at the time. At that point I'd been trying for ages, but just kept failing, because little me was really bad at playing video games. And when I finally managed to beat it, I felt so happy and was very excited to get to see more of the game, and was of course absolutely blown away when I returned to Castletown. Oh man, I definitely relate to being bad at playing games when I was younger. And now. But hey, that's really cool that you did it and got to progress. From Sheikah Shadow, my favourite memory was when my Breath of the Wild Wii U disc got scratched. I couldn't play it for a while. On Christmas Day, I opened a gift and found a new Breath of the Wild disc. As you probably already know, Hyrule_101. That's me. My favourite game of all time is Breath of the Wild, and I don't have it on Switch. That's really awesome. A big saviour, as man, Breath of the Wild is a must-have, am I right? I'm happy to hear you got a new one. From Wingless Moonstone, starting when I was 12, I always tried to learn how to play Jingle Bells on the Ocarina in Ocarina of Time 3D every December. I've since fallen out of this tradition, but it was a fun time. Only ended up getting as far as Jingle All the Way. Ah, nice. I've always thought that is a fun mechanic to learn songs with. Maybe someday you could pick that back up and play the full jingle. From Nicholas, it must have been 1998. I remember opening presents under the tree. I went to open a large rectangular one, but my mum directed me to another package first. That package was Ocarina of Time. The larger present was the guidebook. That's the first Zelda game I remember playing, although I may have played on NES before that. Very nice. I love that. Sounds amazing. From Schmelda, we had one present left, and my mum said it was for her, but she let me open it. Inside, there was a Nintendo Switch in Breath of the Wild. I screamed and immediately went to set it up. Then I spent the rest of Christmas playing Breath of the Wild on my new Switch. Oh my god, that sounds so cool. I can only imagine how happy and excited you would have been in that moment, and for hours on end after. From Breath of the Wild as GOAT, about 2 years ago, I got Breath of the Wild for Christmas from my mum. I was so happy about it and started playing right away. It wasn't my first Zelda game, but it is my favourite one yet. Go mum. Nice one. That's really nice to hear. From Brandon, my best memory of a Legend of Zelda moment around Christmas time is when I opened my very first Zelda game on Christmas morning. It was A Link to the Past, and I was in love with the game from the second the opening music started. I still have the picture my parents took of me opening it, and I have it sitting in a small frame on my Zelda shelf. Nice. That's a classic Zelda game, and hearing that opening music sounds so awesome. Nice. From Zephyr, in 1998, on Christmas Eve, I had a literal premonition of me being out in Kokiri Forest before I had ever played a Zelda game, and the first present I opened in the morning was Ocarina of Time. I'd been a Sega guy until getting an N64 for my birthday only a month earlier. Since then, my favourite game series has been, and always will be, Legend of Zelda. Kokiri Forest sounds brilliant, and I'm glad you're a Zelda fan. Nice one. From Avid, this may not be sweet or particularly wholesome, but it's a special, almost tradition to me. Every Christmas Eve, as a kid, I'd lay down in anticipation for the next day, and to relate my excitement back to my favourite game of all time, I would lay back and play the final hours song from Majora's Mask, letting the nostalgia and love for Zelda wash over me as I drifted off to sleep. Honestly, as chilling as that sounds to me, it also sounds pretty soothing and like a special memory. From Kimmy, there have been a couple Zelda related Christmas moments for me. I got the Wii version of Twilight Princess for Christmas as a teen, and last year I bought my mum, who introduced me to Zelda as a child, her own copy of Breath of the Wild. She says it's her favourite game ever, so big win for me. Very nice, sounds absolutely lovely. From Lara, I was playing Twilight Princess at Christmas night, and then there was the scene where all the children sat together saying, "Link will come to save us all," in Kakariko Village with the song, "Link will save us all," playing. This will be forever a Christmas Zelda moment. I know that scene very well, and that sounds very special to experience that on Christmas night. From Michalina, the first time I finished Breath of the Wild was on Christmas morning. I don't think I'll ever forget that. Very nice, I love that. From Zebra, it was winter break and I was around 9 years old. It was my first Twilight Princess playthrough, and I would always wake up early in the morning to play it. Conveniently, it was snowing outside, and I was at the Snow Peak Ruins part. I remember playing the snowboarding race, and then wanting to do it outside in real life. The Blizzetta scene was terrifying. Man, I wish I could play that game for the first time again. Very fitting. That's one of my favourite parts of the game too, and honestly same. I wish I could play that game for the first time again. From Michael, my favourite Zelda related Christmas memory was I think in 2019. It was technically closer to New Year's Eve, but I had started a new Wind Waker playthrough with a friend. That was an amazing time. Nice one. Sounds awesome. I'm happy to hear that. From The Shadow, in 2013 my family got me and my two siblings a Wii U for Christmas, and because one time I asked my uncle what exactly The Legend of Zelda was about, he also digitally bought Wind Waker HD for me before we got our Wii U, and that's how I fell in love with the series. I asked my uncle because my dad was never as much into video games as my uncle, and my uncle was also a big Zelda fan. Lovely story. I'm really loving these origin stories today, and how you guys fell in love with the series. Lovely stuff. From Mother Hyrule, I met my partner, you, through The Legend of Zelda, but I think my actual favourite memory Christmas time related is Christmas 2019. Before we got together, watching your Christmas special underneath the Christmas tree, not knowing what the future will hold for us. Love you. First of all, I love you too. Second of all, that's a very, very lovely Christmassy Zelda memory. Before wrapping things up, let me tell you my favourite Zelda Christmas memory. I honestly can't remember the year now, but sometime when I was younger, me and my siblings were given a Nintendo Wii with some games for Christmas. One of which was The Legend of Zelda: Twilight Princess. That is my favourite Zelda Christmas memory, as that game has gone on to be my all-time favourite video game. Backstory to that too, sometime before that Christmas, I had tried the game out on my uncle's Nintendo Wii, and expressed an interest. My parents must have seen that, and thought about it when picking which games they got us. I love my family. And that is my Christmas special for 2022. I hope all of you watching have an amazing day or night. This is my final video of the year. I am very excited for 2023. The next mainline Zelda game, Tears of the Kingdom, releases in May, and I cannot wait for both that, but also all of the build-up content to cover and fanboy over. That should start fairly soon into the year. Thanks for watching. A massive shout out to all of my channel supporters, and until the next time, until next year, I've been Hyrule Gamer.